It's time for some action.
Red man.
Okay, you know it. You know it. That's what I'm talking about. And if anybody else don't know it out there, we got two words for you. Sko Buffs. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for the thousands in attendance and the millions that's been watching the bus from around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuned into the coldest show you can find on the internet with the big dog Chico C and the badass Uncle Neely. Unc, what's happening? Talk to me. Coming off a win this week. I know a lot of people might not even tune in because they wanted to see us come off a loss, but we're coming off a dub that we've been eating on. Talk to me, Unc. I'm gonna sit back and relax.
Winston style. Eating on them dubs. Let me tell you this, big dog Chico. Once again, it is a Sunday night, and you are live with Unc and Chico. Because when we lose, we show up. When we win, we show up. What we do is show up. We are here on this Sunday night. Sunday Night Live. I want you to join the conversation. Check in. Let us know where you're checking in from. Of course, some of y'all are going to be randomly selected to be a part of the show. But let's just hit them with the facts, Chico. And the facts are simply this. No matter how much you hate, no matter how much you want it to fail, we got a damn good football team in Colorado. This team is talented. This team has depth. This team, as I said all summer long, could make some noise in the Big 12 and be in Dallas in the Big 12 championship. And then when I even hinted at the fact that this team was built to make the playoffs, people lost their damn minds. But I think they failed to realize that if you're built to compete in the Big 12, if you're built to make the Big 12 championship and you win the Big 12 championship, you're in the playoffs. But let's
And it's
start.
as simple as that.
Let's start at goal one. Goal one this season was get Miss Peggy to a bowl game. That takes 6 wins. We are one step closer to getting Miss Peggy to a bowl game. If we go into the bye week, 4-1.
Well, people, I don't want to come over here and talk about how I told you so. I wanted to sit back and relax in New Jacks and blaze up a sack, but I'm not going to do none of that. I'm going to simply say, if you tuned in, you would have heard me say at the beginning of the game when I first saw them guys come out there, I said, we're about to beat the brakes off of UCF. It's a feeling. It's a thing that you got to see, and it's something that's inside of you. I knew the matchups were going to be just perfectly fit for us. Like styles make fights, right? So I think the style that we presented towards UCF and the way that they play ball, I think it was just perfectly fit for us if we executed to come away with an upset. Like, who are these people in Vegas or wherever betting and saying that, giving them 14 points on us, on Colorado? Like, they're still thinking about the team from last year or maybe the team before that, and they're not really evaluating and watching and understanding what's on this roster and what these players are. Much love and respect to Uncle Shay Sharp. I just listened to his take on Travis Hunter, but in some cases you have no idea. Unc basically said, oh, he's about 6'3", he's about 6'4". Like, he ain't like what you've been watching, what you've been looking at. So if they're going to keep blindly betting on Colorado and betting against Colorado and hating on Coach Prime just because of who he is and the team, then I think it's going to continue to be upset city in Colorado. Simple as that.
Absolutely. And Chico, I appreciate you and part of this partnership. 50% of the Uncle Chico show. I can appreciate you taking the high road. Neely ain't finna take the high road. Ooh, Neely ain't finna take the high road. I saw somebody comment that I hope they don't get a hernia moving the goalpost. They gonna keep on moving the goalpost. Now all of a sudden UCF ain't this, they ain't gonna be that, blah, 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 blah. Here's the fact of the matter, man. Let me tell y'all this. And Chico, you remember it, and some of our regular viewers will remember it. I told y'all that when this team plays complementary football, meaning the offense, defense, and special team shows up, we are special. Now, am I saying we up there on Georgia and Alabama programmatic level? I'm not saying that. We haven't reached that NIL capacity. We haven't reached that recruiting capacity. We haven't reached that talent and depth capacity. But when I tell you this team is built to compete and win in the Big 12 right now, because I've seen it. And I told everybody when the schedule dropped back this spring, the 2 games I had circled, was the Big 12 home opener and the Big 12 road trip to UCF. And everybody said, oh, well, what about not about Utah and Texas Tech and Oklahoma State? That stuff is later on in the season. I wanted to see early in the season where this program stacks up, which way the arrow is pointed. And I told the world that those 2 games were going to show you where we are and where we're headed. Won both of them, won one of them, and just sheer belief and tenacity. And the other one was a straight up blowout. This team is 4-1 overall, 2-0 in the conference.
Easy money, should I say, because a 48-21 win in Orlando down there in what they call the bounce house, man. And the crowd, like, I want to ask you, because I saw in the videos, we saw a lot of support for the Colorado Buffaloes out there, fan support, people all in the crowd and things like that. How was the support just being in the stadium, as far as 50-50 as the crowd, or how was it out there?
Hell no. The camera was playing tricks on y'all on TV. That's what they showed. That crowd was overwhelmingly UCF. They don't call it the bounce house for nothing. That place was rocking first quarter. That place was rocking second quarter. But it became more bounce to the ounce when the wheels came off, because they started to get the hell up out of there. And the bounce house went to the ounce house. I got half on a half ounce. It wasn't no bouncing in there at that point. But I'm not going to say that that was a 50-50 crowd. That was clearly their stadium. They had a big noon kickoff there that day. It was a nice atmosphere. I'm not going to put it up there with, say, Nebraska, because it's a smaller venue. But they were loud. They were vocal. They were doing their thing, man. So the bounce house is a real place to play in. But we took that B off that B. Ounce house.
Ounce house, baby. We're going to officially call it the ounce house because we're blazing up a UCF pack. Huh? That's wrong. Is that wrong to say, y'all? Let me know in the chat if that's wrong to say. But we up in here, man. Shouts out to Goonsville Clothing. Shouts out to the Glass House Optical. Shouts out to mdjoriginal.com. Y'all make sure y'all go support. Everything is in the link or in the description below. You'll see it down there. Just click under. You can also join this channel. Myself and Uncle Neely. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. If you haven't liked the video yet, all that takes is a click of the button. Blink, just like that. You feel me? Uncle Neely, what's another recap from the game? Because we're going to get into our players of the game. And let's just recap and talk about some of the big plays in the game. We saw Cameron Simmons Craig with the return. Shedeur Sanders, of course, is on point throughout the game. Of course, he had that first pick, but I said when I was calling the game live, I said, man, he's going to be pinpoint from here on out. 28 of 35, 290 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. We had some good running from Isaiah Augusto, 4 carries, 39 yards. Dalen Hayden, 11 carries, 33 yards, and a touchdown. Michael Welch came in, 5 carries, 26, and a TD. Talk about some of the big plays and some standout performers in your eyes.
Well, before I go to the big plays and standout performance, I want to do a team concept if I can, because I think when you touched on Shedeur throwing that interception, keep in mind that was the third play of the game. You do nothing on first down, nothing on second down, and third down is an interception. Last year's team would have folded right there. Last year's team would have folded right there. I didn't say players. I didn't say Shedeur would have folded. Travis would have folded. Last year's team would have folded right there. What does this year's team do? Go get them interception. Now it means nothing. It's 0-0. Y'all got to pick. We got to pick. Let's play some ball. And you see what happens, after that. And simple things like Coach Prime taking the leaders on a retreat this summer. Simple things like putting the phones down in the cafeteria, get to know each other, because he said all summer long, we've been together. He said The
Oh,
more
what
we
you
the more we get to know each other, the better we're gonna be in tough times together. And you see that happening. This team has gotten so much better since Nebraska. This team has gotten bounced back to them when we have a bad play or something go wrong in the game. Look at last week, those drops that LeJontay Wester had, and then he catches the Hail Mary. Because there was no quit in him. There's no quit in this team. And one of the things I really loved about the game, man, is to see Cameron Silman Craig. And I know he doesn't do it for this. He's a great player who plays for the right reasons. I love to see him get something that shows up in the box score because this guy will look up and you see he has 10 tackles. But if you could do a drop down menu on those tackles and see when they were and how they were and situationally what was going on, he had way more than the impact of 10 tackles. And to see him get to the ball, get that ball off the ground and take it for a touchdown, I think that was a special moment for him. Mata, to be on the road, the field goals and the extra points. Of course, 2 on 2 and 12 on 12. But to all the folks out there who said that we don't have no running game, I think for 2 weeks in a row now, you've proved that wrong. And look at the guys who stepped up on defense. You hadn't said their names all year, but they got an opportunity this week. Arden Walker, Tajay McCoy, the impact they made, Chidoze being back. This defense has some depth and some talent to it at each of the levels. I'm excited, man. If we play complimentary football, it's going to be hard for people to run with us.
Let me give a shout out to Jalen Wester, who put his head on the ball, on the football as the runner was running. That's who caused the fumble that it popped right into Cameron Silman Craig's hand, and he dipped out on it. He carried that thing like, hey, I'm not even gonna look back and see anybody chasing me. It's like when a dog is chasing you. He just kept running till he got to the end zone. So, big play from him, and also my main man, Mata don't miss. He's out of sight. Mata don't miss. He's dynamite. Mata don't miss. Okay,
that's some 70s sitcom shit right there, boy.
I know just. Well, when I seen that Mata don't miss song, hey man, he makes them things. So shout out to him too, coming up clutch. Big play call from Coach Pat Shermer to get it out of bounds. Clutch catches from Michael Welch on the sideline out of the backfield. Will Shepard did his thing with a huge touchdown catch. So many people we could talk about in this game that made big plays. That's what Coach Prime was saying. Everything came together this game: offense, defense, and the special teams. And if we can continue to do that this season, the Big 12 going to be in for a problem, man. If they continue to just think about us like a last year's team or keep down Coach Prime, like I said, keep doing it. I see the guys on the sideline that he's hired on his coaching staff. Coach Rob Livingston, shout out to him. Coach Sapp. Coach D. Lewis, oh man, that really stood out to me. Coach D. Lewis continuing that to coach on the sideline and to fire his guys up throughout the game, because that's what it takes. Not just before the game in the halftime. No, every possession he's in their face, letting them know, hey man, it's time to hunt and get to the ball. I love that about this staff now that Coach Prime has.
And Chico, we got to take a moment. Every time you leave that thing dangling like that, we're going to take a moment to address the haters.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember when Coach Prime named Rob Livingston as defense coordinator, and everybody was in the comments, who the hell is Rob Livingston? He's never been a coordinator. He's never had a room on his own before. He's just a scout in the NFL. Prime done lost his mind. He doing good old boy stuff and just hooking people up with jobs. This guy not ready. Where's all that talk at now?
Shh.
Look at the points that have been scored on this team in the second half this year. Go look it up. About 7. About 7.
I'm talking about holding people, man. The defense. Big time playing from the Road Warriors, Nakai Hill Green and Levante Bentley in the middle. Man, what a rush, man, in the middle. Chidozie Nwankwo coming off that shoulder injury and looked like an elbow injury too. He out there looking like the bionic man, still making tackles, in the backfield, getting the guys above, being that block bully, like we said. Anquan Barnes had a good game. Amari McNeil. I love to look at the guys in the trenches because that's where it starts at. And even on the other side, on the offensive side, I saw a couple of clips of Jordan Seaton, and things I noticed, totally different maybe from what somebody else is looking at. I was looking at Jordan's eyes because we got great shots from Well Off Media, thanks to Deion Sanders Jr. In that big rig I saw him carrying. But I was looking at his eyes, and as they were running the twists and the stunts, his eyes were in the right place. He wasn't locked on one man. He was engaging in this guy, passing it off to his guard while locating where the stunt was going to come and then picking that up. Beautiful job by Jordan. Lets me know that he's comfortable. It's not too overwhelming for him. A day one starter as a freshman. So, just shout out to Jordan and shout out to the whole offensive line for really doing their thing. Kareem Harden stepping in and really bouncing back after, getting the penalty on the first play. Hey, that's nothing. We're going to bounce back from that. Great job by him stepping into that starting lineup for Khalil Benson. So I just want to shout out to the guys in the trenches.
And I just want to shout out to haters. What did y'all say about this offensive line? What did y'all say about this offensive line coach? When we left Nebraska, throw the whole line away. They can't block for nothing. They're worse than last year's line. I don't know what Coach Lodehold is doing. 2 games later, you can hear mouse piss on cotton in Texas.
Damn.
Ain't nobody saying nothing now. And the reason this team didn't fold is because we see it in practice. We know what these guys are capable of. We've seen them work all summer. We've seen them work all fall camp. They just needed the opportunity for it to gel and come together in a real game time situation. And I think you've seen that post Nebraska.
Man, people be hating when Coach Prime say, if I don't see it in practice, then you're not going to see it in the game. Man, every coach said that, man. So why are people making it seem like it's such a big deal? Every coach said it, and he probably said it because he's old school from his coaches. Bobby Bowden and them, man.
When I coached down there, shout out to Mendenhall High School, head coach Monroe Allen. We call him Chucky. When I coached down there, man, practice is about one thing and one thing only. Who can I trust on Friday night? Or in this case, who can I trust on Saturday nights? Because I'm going to put you in situations in practice to know if you fumble, to know if you catch, to know if you block, to know if you stay on assignment, alignment, and technique, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if I don't see it Sunday through Thursday, or I see the opposite of what I want Sunday through Thursday, why would I put that in a game on Saturday night when I know it's not going to be there?
It's not going to happen, big dog. It's not going to happen. And that goes, shout out to Coach Harper.
No, you got to slow the comments down. them somebody's going back faster than the stock market.
They got to get right. Hey, if y'all want to see the comments, go join the chat. Get in the chat and become a part of it, man. Engage in the chat.
I did see a super chat where somebody was apologizing, though. We definitely got to bring that one up.
We got 7 super chats. Super chats definitely will be read. I will be reading off the super chats. We got 7 right now. When we get to 10, then we'll go and read off the super chats. All right. Damn, I was going to say something. You had me laughing right there. He said he going too fast. El Hombre in the chat. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate you. Like we said, let us know where you're checking in from and how you're checking in. If we have any different countries checking in out there, Ocho, let us know. Get in the chat.
Speaking of checking in country, your boys in Mississippi. I'm in the M.I. Krieger letter.
Are you back in the crib?
I'm in the crib, baby. I'm at the crib.
Mississippi in the building.
But I'll tell you something.
Man.
Coach Prime said, look, we're going to take off Sunday.
That's right. I know see the background.
We're going to practice Monday and Tuesday. And depending on how y'all do, I'll let y'all go Wednesday the rest of the week. You seen that clip? Idris Elba eating them wings and start coughing?
Yeah.
Dog, my flight already booked. I'm going home. I'm at the crib, baby. This bye week.
Man. Hey, speaking of being at home, I saw Coach Warren Sapp post a picture of some, and I don't know, people have different names of it, but lima beans or butter beans over some rice, and I think some oxtails or either some pool, some beef or something like that. But it could have been oxtails. But point is, and some cornbread. Point is, man, he back home eating good. What are you eating as far as food wise back home? First
Hadn't been here
thing,
long enough. Haven't been here long enough to eat yet, Chico.
dang.
You haven't been here. Just
Well,
got here.
what's on the mind? What's on your menu? I know it's
Oh
late.
no, I'm going to all my local places. Going by Stamp Burgers this week. Got to get some catfish from somewhere. I'm hitting all my dives. I'm talking about, when you stand there wait on your food and your feet start to move apart because the flow greasy.
Damn.
Yeah.
I
I
know
ain't going,
exactly what you're talking about. That's
I
crazy.
ain't going nowhere that when they give you the bag don't have no grease spot on it.
That's right. That's that good
I ain't
eating
going
right
nowhere, Chico. They got an A from an inspection. I need somebody that failed their inspection.
there.
That's where the good food at.
I almost said I was going to shout out somebody, but I didn't want to shout them out after that. I want to shout them out because they have some great food in Laney's Barbecue in Selma, Alabama, man. They've been doing it for about 4 generations, man. I'm talking about for a long time.
They've been doing it for generations. They don't fail an inspection. I ain't saying they done failed all of them. They don't fail an inspection.
But the food is banging.
They ain't cleaned out their grease trap every time. That's what makes the food good.
Do they use the same grease or do they switch
the
grease?
You know they do.
You can't use the same grease with the fish and the bacon or something like that. You can't do that, right?
But you know how we do it, dog. Stop playing. You know how
you have some fish tasting hamburgers.
Or some bacon taking fish.
One or the other. All right, we got 8 super chats. When we get to 10, we will start reading the super chats. Comments coming in. We got Chicago in the building. Man, we got everybody. Greenville, South Carolina. We got a super chat from B. Will. I got to get to you. Kareem Harden. Oh, now he stepped in there, did his thing. Like I said, Stamp Burgers. They shouting them out. Black eyed peas and rice. That's what it was. It was some black eyed peas and rice too. Whew. If I can have some of that right now, I'd be in Southern soul food heaven, big dog.
Yes,
that's all I need.
Yes,
we got the Goons of the game coming up. Goons of the game coming up with our guy Petros. We're going to see if we're going to have our celebrity news coming up. Also, our celebrity news of the night. We have. Let me see what's on my little bucket list. We got to talk about the bye week and Kansas State. Y'all let us know what y'all think about that. And we my last highlight I got to talk about because we had a couple of them in the game. And of course, it's going to be that Travis Hunter interception. And after he did it, he hit the Heisman pose, of course. Everybody saw it. The picture is going viral, And then I just happened to see it. I think it was on Well Off Media. He came in the locker room. He looked at his phone and he said, "Damn, that's a cold picture." That's, he actually reacted to it on camera. People say he's not in the lead for Heisman right now. We always cover this each and every week. I guess we might as well make it a weekly segment. Travis for Heisman, 12 for Heisman, however we want to name it. Let's make our case once again why Travis Hunter is and should be the leader for the Heisman Trophy.
Well, I'm gonna break it down to you a couple different ways, Chico. First up, the Heisman Trophy by the Downtown Athletic Club standards, not Neely standards, by their standards, goes to the best college football player in college football that season. All right. Now, there's a little twist to it. They typically only pick from the winning teams. So there have been years that you've had guys that might have been the quote unquote best, but their team didn't make it to bowl games or beyond. And so that guy didn't get picked. However, the winning team part is not actually in the formula. That's a human deal doing that. So let's go with the standard. The standard is best player in college football. If you were to look at the numbers for wide receiver and go with the top 5 wide receivers in college football right now, Travis Hunter would be one of them. If you would go to the defensive side of the ball and look at the top 5 in statistical categories, one way or the other, Travis Hunter will be in it. So how is a guy who's in the top 5, even top 3, even number 1 in some of these categories on the offense and on the defense, not in aggregate the best damn player in college football? He's doing it from both sides of the ball. I don't know that a special teams person in the history of Heisman is running. You're either going to come from offense or defense to win it. And he is one of the best receivers, the best cornerback in the nation, doing both of them at the same time, playing 100 snaps a game with no fall off in either category. And you tell me what's rule number 1? You have to be the best player in college football. Let me tell you this, dog. As much as I've seen them have a team's record come into play, this is one of those Paul Hornick situations. Team record ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't care what the Buffaloes go on to do the back half of this season, the end of this season. Travis Hunter has already proven 5 games in, he's the best player in college football.
First 4 games, 7 catches, 132 yards versus NDSU, 10 catches, 110 yards versus Nebraska, 13 catches, 100 yards versus Colorado State, 7 receptions, 130 yards versus Baylor, 9 catches, 89 yards versus UCF. That's a record to have 4 consecutive games over 100 yards. He is what he has now, 2 picks already. Is that 2 picks or is that third one? I think 2 picks. Ash, what is that? Is that his second pick, Ash? Yeah, I think that's his second or third pick. So
you talking to Pig Yoda?
46 receptions, 561 yards, 6 touchdowns. I said if he had double digits touchdowns and 4 to 5 interceptions, it should be automatic. 1,000 yards he's on pace to have, it should be automatic. You know, I think, and that's what he's headed to, man. Nobody else has ever done this. A lot of people like Miro. He's a quarterback. A lot of people like Cam Ward. I like both of those guys, you know. But
let me say this. I don't know how many downtown athletic club are going to invite. It's not always 5. It's not always 3. It's not always 4. So let's go with 4. Let's say they invite 4 people to sit on the front row of the downtown athletic club, New York City.
Mm-hmm. Who you got?
Cam Ward should be sitting there.
Most definitely.
Alabama's quarterback should be sitting there.
Most definitely.
Like I'm not denying that there are other people who are good/great at college football this year. What I'm just saying is 5 weeks in, we'll see how the rest of the season goes. 5 games in with 4-1, he has proven he is one of, if not the best player in college football. So who are the other people sitting there? You know, there's plenty of people worthy of that. Hell, Shador is. But Shador ain't even tweeting Shador for Heisman. Hell, Shador is tweeting Travis Hunter Jr. for Heisman. He sees it.
But we've always said from the jump that we think that both of them could and should be sitting there at the end of the season if they have, or not if, but when they have the type of season that we are projecting them to have.
I would just say this, Chico,
because
as much as I believe that, and as much as a fan and a black historian, I would love to see that. I think some of the other quarterback numbers thus far, if the trend continues, will bump Shador out if he doesn't go back to having, 4 almost 500-yard games, per game. Is he the most consistent quarterback in college football? Yes. Does he have the best command of his throws? Yes. Does he have the best percentage completion? Yes. But when people start looking at average yards per game, touchdowns per game, then he's probably coming in around 3rd right then. And if you're only bringing 3 or 4 people, I can see Shador being on that bubble.
Yeah. And I saw exactly, I think the graphic that you might be referring to that shows the quarterbacks and, the Heisman list and favorable guys. And I see that too. But, we'll see how the season plays out. Like we said, will they consistently continue to do the same thing?
Big dog, I tell you this. and I make a bet with you right now. I bet that you ain't
Talk
gonna
to
take.
me.
A
Talk
bet
to
that you ain't
me.
gonna take because it's a bet that you with me. If Shador ain't there, if Shador is not a finalist, I bet he get drafted higher than the other quarterbacks who are.
And the other quarterbacks who might be in there, guys, would be Carson. But and see, you know what? Let me say something about this. I'll push back on you.
Do it.
I wouldn't be so hung on the fact of how high Shador gets drafted as opposed to where he gets drafted. Because let's say the New York Giants have a higher draft pick than a team like the Raiders. And I just hate, I don't know what their record is right now, but the Raiders are another favorable city that we would like to see Shador in. The Cowboy, whatever, right? I could see the Giants taking a Beck or another QB in that up there, and then Shador going to another city, and it being a better situation for Shador, rather than him just being a pick higher because it's a higher draft pick, because
dog, you
frankly,
you're absolutely right from an attachment standpoint. We know the guy and want the best for him. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Here's the deal, though. When you pick high, it's because your team is bad. And when you're a good quarterback, great quarterback, and you're coming out and you're going early in the first round, you're going to a bad team.
But you got to think about who's doing the picking.
No, I'm not.
Make your point.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Okay.
I'm in agreement with you. I'm just saying situationally, whether he goes to the people picking quarterback first, second, third, fourth, they all suck. That's why they're picking early.
Well, so if you talk about a guy like Jerry Jones, he might make a move.
You may arguably have a better situation. But any of these teams picking in the top 5, they all the same kind of bad. That's why they're picking in the top 5.
Now, see, when I talk about bad situation, I'm not just talking about a football team. I'm talking about the totality of everything. I'm talking about the living, the city, the lifestyle, all of these things. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
I think all of that plays in a factor.
There's probably nothing more attractive than Miami when you put all that together.
I don't even think. Well, shoot, he would fit in Miami like a mug, but I just
he go there every time he get a break. Like he love Miami, man.
Yeah, but then he got some weapons on the outside, also.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Sid. I get what you're saying, big dog. I really do. But I'm just saying, from a totality standpoint, whether you traded up to pick high, you had to give something up to do that. Whether you're naturally picking high because of where you finished, if you picking high, you suck this past year.
Should I push back on that, chat? What y'all think? If you pick high, do you suck?
You can't push back on it. It's the fact. It's the nature of the draft.
Some teams
make order of finish.
No, some teams make a trade. Like
Chico, see, obviously you ain't listening. The first thing I said was outside of somebody trading up.
Outside, okay, that's the caveat.
Outside of somebody trading up because they really want to get him. Anybody else that's naturally in the top 5, you are one of the worst bottom 5 teams to pick the previous year. That's why you're picking right there.
Now I agree with that. I agree with that because listening is fundamental.
Draft is on order of finish, man. If you pick it second, you had a rough last year.
Yeah, you did. Now, speaking of that, you got a team like the Carolina Panthers who benched their number 1 draft pick quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And now they're going with Dalton, who's career backup now. Yeah. But he came in highly drafted. That's a placeholder, you think?
Yeah. They
should get rid of that number 1 draft pick?
They have to. They have proven organizationally, whether that's the coach, the GM, player personnel, all the way up to the ownership, they have squandered that pick. I think the kid has some talent. I think he could be useful, good to great somewhere else in a system that knows how to nurture and develop quarterbacks. He's got to get the hell out of there.
Damn.
And they can pick up a pick or two for him because there's somebody that believes in him.
And that's what I'm saying. Somebody he got picked higher than the other quarterbacks, but just the wrong situation for him.
Oh, absolutely wrong situation.
I feel.
Dog, Let me date this. Let me date this gray hair. If Brett Favre stays in Atlanta, you never would have heard of him.
Exactly.
He had to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
That wasn't the right environment for his personality. He goes to Green Bay, smaller market, smaller town, less distractions. Hall of Famer.
Yep. I could wear my blue jean cut off shorts now. I ain't got to worry about nobody judging me, man. But I feel like that too, coming to, just to put it on myself, my perspective, I feel like that too coming out here to Hawaii because, I had teammates that was from Atlanta, and this is why I used to, no hate to Atlanta, but Atlanta is Atlanta. I had teammates in Atlanta. They used to call me, what they call me, like they say I used to, team issue is what they call me. Like, what is team issue? Like, man, every time I see you, you wearing team issued gear. Like, wear your designer clothes. I'm like, man, I'm not going to be like you guys. All of them was from Atlanta, too. And they all, went out on the weekends with designer clothes and stuff on. And I have on my UAB gear.
Hey,
the point I'm trying to make is I feel comfortable out here in Hawaii because I can wear.
Y'all might as well call me T.I. Team issue.
Team issue. Why not? I looked at it like it's free gear. I be damn, what we're going to be doing.
It is.
Yes, it's clothing. What?
Chico.
So I'm comfortable.
I'm gonna dress free and eat free every chance I get.
Say that again, Unc.
I'm gonna dress free and eat free every chance I get. Oh, you go ahead. Since that's a bar, you can go ahead and put the third one in there. I'm gonna turn up on a hater every chance I get to. Speaking of turn up on haters, how about that win at UCF where they had us 14 points underdogs? We go on the road and win by more than they had us under. That's crazy. That's turning up on every chance.
48-21, just in case y'all forgot. 48-21 was the final.
We're not gonna let them forget.
For all you haters out there, I
going into the bye week 4-1, and everybody acted like we were going to go into the bye week 1-4.
Yeah. You have people, and we're going to get into this on another show I also do, but we have people who, and it's okay. I said, I think you said I take it easy, but it's okay because I understand. But you have people who cover the Buffs, who have been covering the Buffs, and they just didn't believe. They didn't think. They picked UCF to win, and they still don't. Do you think it's because of just from what they've seen in the past, or do they think it's just?
Stop playing. I know you're trying to.
Bring it to me, dog.
I know you're trying to tee that thing up for me.
I'm just trying to set it up, like this right here and like that. They don't believe. Let you do what you do.
There's a cadre of people across America, not just one particular geographic location. This is from coast to coast. There's a cadre of people across America who do not believe in black leadership. Not only don't believe it,
to the big apple.
They don't want it. They don't want Coach Prime to be successful because then more people like Coach Prime will get hired. So they don't want it to work. In their subconscious, I don't care what shirt they got on or where they live or what they look like, they don't want this to work. So they cheer against it. They look for any thread they can pull, to unravel it. They look for any blemish or any dents. And what I say to them about the blemishes and dents, y'all out there looking for a knight in shining armor. What you want is somebody who with some armor that's been banged up because they've been through something. That joker come out the castle in that shining armor. He ain't been in no fight. You want that guy with some mileage that's been down through there. And Coach Prime, the staff, you look at what Pat Shermer went through, coaching in the NFL right there at Denver, coaching the Giants and everywhere else. People have always been, attacking him. But what happened? He comes here and look how this offense turned around. The very offense that people were complaining about in week 1 and week 2. Now we are 5 games in and nobody's complaining anymore. This team is built to persevere, is built on resilience. And there's a black man who's unapologetically black at the tip of the spear as head coach.
As we usually do at this time, I got to hit you with a yin line because you sure ain't.
But you gotta be in the barbershop chair with the plate in your hand. You ain't lying.
He ain't lying. That's my guy. He whooped Joe Lewis's ass. That's why he did whoop Joe Lewis's ass. Joe Lewis was 75 years old when he fought. If you just think about that whole scene, man. I don't know how old he was, but he got his ass whooped. The man had just come out of retirement to fight Rocky Marciano. The man was 76 years old. One time, Frank Sinatra came down and sat in this chair right there. I said, Frank, just between me and you hang out with Joe Louis. How old was Joe Louis? You know what Frank said to me? He said, hey, Joe Louis is 137 years old. 137 years old. Oh, man, you ain't never meet no Frank Sinatra.
You're
Okay.
lying. And you sure don't know no Martin Luther King.
Yes, I did. I walk around. The irony of that is he said Martin Luther King punched him in the chest. Martin Luther King was non-violent.
Yeah.
Come on, man. All right. We got to get to these super chats that has come true for us. We appreciate the support from everybody out there. We're going to read these super chats right
before
here.
We do that, Chico, how many we got watching right now on the platform? Shout them out.
We got over 1,200 watching upon the channel. The pregame show coming to you live and direct from Jackson, Mississippi. And the biggest dog, Chico, to the sea and the place to be.
I'm probably Chico. I'm probably going to get 2 Unc and Chicos before I go back. This Sunday, next time. I'm either going back next Sunday or next Monday.
Okay. So you're not, no need to go back for them 2 practices.
No, dog.
That'll be this week.
No, dog.
So
I tell Coach I tell my good friend Coach Prime all the time, I say, dog, you blessed. You got, or at least once upon a time, had 4 of your 5 kids there. Now you got 3 of them. Mama's here, sister's here. Your people here. I said, my mama, kids, and grandkids miss. I gotta go home, dog.
Got to go to the crib, dog. Definitely. Super chat. JP's revenge. Unc, I want to apologize to you. After the Nebraska loss, you told us that the team was still focused to compete, and a lot of us weren't trying to hear it. That's from JP's revenge.
JP, I want to thank you for the super chat and the apology, and I accept your apology. And let me give you some more information. JP's revenge. The odds are against us going undefeated the rest of the season. We're probably going to lose a game somewhere. Shadur's probably going to throw an interception. DJ McKinney's probably going to drop an interception. One of the backs is going to fumble. What do I mean by all this? I'm telling y'all, shit is going to happen. It's going to happen. The difference between this year and last year is that it's going to roll off of us. It's not going to carry over to the next series or to the next game or games. This team is built differently. Resilient, determination. Don't take bad plays to the next play. Don't take bad games to the next game. We're going to win some ball games. Miss Peggy is going to a bowl game. There are no divisions in the Big 12. We keep doing what we're doing in the Big 12. All we got to do is be in the top 2. You go to Dallas in. You very well could get to the Big 12 championship, and you're playing somebody that just played 2 weeks ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's go to the next super chat. Coming in from Geraldo Ramos for the 199. Coach Prime with Unc and Ocho later. Yes, it comes on later on. You guys can tune into it right after this one. They'll be coming up next. Unc, y'all getting ready over there? Yeah, Unc said he getting ready, putting on his lip chap. I'm over there putting on my lip chap, Ocho. JP's revenge back again. Go ahead, Unc. What'd you say?
No, I was just going to say, I think my Uncle Byron is going to be on there with him.
You wild for that, man. Shout out to Tracy Ward.
Yeah.
Neely deserves his. I told you, Mama. He hit. Okay, you hit him twice with that right there. Okay, appreciate it. JP's revenge. Wasn't there an old show back in the day called something? JR's Revenge?
I don't know. No? JR was with Dallas. I don't know if he had a revenge. Yeah. But JP, let me tell you this. Again, I appreciate that because, like I said, after Nebraska lost, the goals that this team has set forth from the head coach were still in play. Get Miss Peggy to a bowl game. That's 6 wins. Contend for the Big 12 championship. That means be 1 or 2 in record of the Big 12. You get to that game and win it, you're in the playoffs. I think the SEC and some of these other conferences are not only going to have their conference championship in the playoff, they're going to have 2 or 3 other teams. The Big 12 is likely only to get 1, and that's whoever wins that conference championship. So if you want to go to the playoffs, your goal has to be to make and win that game. Our first goal to that path is getting 6 wins. We're 2 away from it.
And guess what? There is some parity in the Big 12. A lot of people pick Utah to win it.
They
They're ranked number
lost.
18, and they just lost to Arizona.
Oh,
23-10. So
and then
listen, it can
the
happen.
first win that they got didn't count as a conference game.
So listen, it can happen. We can get there and not even be facing them in the championship.
Absolutely.
So coming up soon, we got Goon of the game before we get up out of here, and we're gonna have our celeb news of the night. We're supposed to have our top 5 R&B groups. Goodness gracious, we have super chats coming in right now. This one right here from PABWS. Y'all gonna learn to not dop Uncle Neely. Neely been telling you haters since the JSU days about CP, Shador, and Travis. Yet you haters still won't listen. How many times does Neely have to prove to you fools wrong? How many times, Coach? How many times?
You see this finger right here? That's Coach Prime.
Yep.
See this finger right here?
That's Shiggity Shador.
Yeah, come on, y'all. I see it. I'm like an old umpire. I'm just calling like I see him. I'm at practice. I'm in the team meetings. I see the work put in. I'm just calling balls and strikes. Now, what y'all do with information is up to you.
Get them out of there. Boy, I used to strike them little kids out when I was about 14, 15, call those games.
Yeah, they
what?
hated
Make that little extra money?
Yeah.
What?
They hated you. You damn
they hated me, what? But see, it happened because I had some people doing me the same way. So, yes, they had to get it. It's just like when you're pledging, right? You're not going to not. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, but JP's revenge once again, $4.99. Nakai Hill Green had KJ Jefferson and Harvey ready to tap out. Yes, he was out there cracking heads. Definitely was, man.
Yeah, they said JP. They said that we didn't have no defensive line, we didn't have no depth, and they said that UCF had the #1 running offense in the nation, not the Big 12, in the nation. 370 yards a game on the ground. I was leaving the bounce house, and I stopped at the store, give me a little milk, and I seen their ground game. I seen their ground game on the back of the milk cart. It was missing. They said, call this number if you seen UCF ground game. Last they heard of it was the block bully had him in the chokehold.
And wouldn't let him go. Imagine block bully have you in the chokehold, dog.
You ain't getting out of it.
Unless he wants you to. Oh, damn, I didn't mean to put that on there. Y'all just be saying anything, don't it? Hawaii is a what? Oh, how? I thought it, see, I can't even read these little bit old things. Yes, sir. Hold on. Let me click on the super chat. Go back to the super chat, big dog. I can read those. Taylor May, 1999. Uncle Neely, can we have a family meeting about you riding the RV instead? Now, I'm reading these now because that could have been anything on this. So I'm reading these now. Uncle Neely told me I should read them before, but I'm being hard-headed. I love the behind the scenes you do when traveling with the team, especially the trip to the field. Exactly. That was actually content right there, Uncle Neely.
Okay.
199, awesome game. Could you speak to the future QB?
Yeah, it'll be after the bye week, Shador Sanders. The future is now. We'll let the recruiting staff handle who's next for next year. But right now, we focus on what we got in the games ahead of us.
JP's revenge once again for the 499. Shout out to the Nakai Hill Green, Cam, Jalen Wester, Kareem Harden, Sammy Sachs, Shadozi, JC, BJ Green, Preston, etc. That was a great team win overall. Exactly. I think so too.
Let me tell you how crazy I am. Let me tell you how crazy I am, JP's revenge. One, appreciate your super chats. Appreciate you checking in. You clearly know ball. I'm sitting here this whole time going, damn, JP look like Marvin Hagler. And it is a picture of Marvin Hagler.
That's a picture of Marvin Hagler in his profile.
Yeah.
With the shades on.
I was like, damn, man, that brother look just like Marvin Hagler. Hell, it is.
Who did they model Apollo Creed after in the Rocky movies? I think they modeled him after was it Ken Norton Jr.? Because he was a businessman. I think while he was boxing back in the day, he used to wear those suits. I think I saw that on the documentary or something like that. It was Ken Norton Jr.
You having them weed conversations now.
We're having a weed conversation. What you call that UCF pack?
Good.
Celebrity news. We got Miss Arlie, who just checked in with us. She's backstage. We're gonna bring her on. Also, we got our goon of the game getting ready to check in with Petros. Arlie got some celeb news. We're gonna bring her on, let her talk about it, and we're gonna see what it is this week. What's cracking? How you doing,
What's
Miss Arlie?
up? How y'all doing?
We're ready to go to Hollywood.
Oh, the Falcons must have won.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a rough one because I thought we lost. I was all mad. And then somebody was like, we won because I only saw the score. When I left where I was going, we were losing. And then we kicked apparently a 58. Y'all, I'm about to say a 58 inch, Lord. That would be helpful. But a 58 yard field goal, and we won by 2 points. We cannot lose to the Saints. It's a rough year for me. It's a rough several months until we see them again in November. If we lose, because them people, and they be sending text messages to me, and I don't want them. So I ain't heard nobody. It's quiet as a church mouse over here. So I love it. Love it.
Well, speaking of your Falcons winning, let me give a shout out to Kadero Hodge, wide receiver for the Falcons from Mendenhall, Mississippi, played for the Mendenhall Tigers. He recovered that fumble in the end zone and gave y'all 7 points. Simpson County's finest.
Yes. Shout out. See, I'm from Jasper County, Mississippi, so I love to sip too. Please have a Stamps burger for me, por favor. I don't eat that other stuff you eat. All them, the big end sausage, all them places, whatever pig ears and
I don't do the ears either, but I'm gonna get a smoke.
Okay, well, enjoy a smoke, because they were talking about that the other day. It was a whole a story on that. But anyway, yeah. So shout out to the Falcons. Yes, because we underdogs on everything. They don't want us to win nothing. And I heard your boys won.
Who?
Dallas. Thursday.
Yeah. One nothing to celebrate.
Okay. It was just Giants. Yeah. I know, but you were always the Giant killer. So.
Exactly. So it's like I expect that.
Oh, okay.
I ain't one of the dudes that walk around and say, "Yeah, but I'm a good daddy." You're supposed to be a good daddy. Like we're supposed to be the Giants. I'm not celebrating.
What you want, a cookie?
Well, we Falcons fans over here take all we can get. I'm just saying. We supposed to win, but we often do not. We wait to the fourth quarter and be like, you know what? We're gonna get this to the people. Just let the other people have it. So anyway. But shout out to everybody out there in the chat. My name is Arlie of Arleywood. It's an L. People always want to call me Ari, which I take whatever, as long as it's check cash, I'm good. But yes. I want to ask you, gentlemen, your thoughts. And I know this is old news, but it keeps being rehashed in the celebrity space. What do y'all think about the Super Bowl? Kendrick is the one who's named as the headliner, and then folks in New Orleans mad because Lil Wayne was not selected to headline the Super Bowl. I have my thoughts on it because I love the NOB, but I love them people down there. Shout out to all the people in New Orleans. But what are your thoughts on? Because Baby talking about he about to expose Rock Nation. It's getting real ugly.
Well, my first thoughts are this: the entertainment report you supposed to be telling us. That's my first thought.
Well, I always just want to know what other people. I'm gonna tell you what I think.
My second thought is I think they just fake mad. Like the Super Bowl been going on for everywhere every year, and the minority of the times, the artist has no reflection of the location because the Super Bowl is bigger than the location.
Fact. But in the South, okay, let me say this. So the South always talking about we got something to say. When they came to Atlanta, Atlantans were mad that, Jermaine Dupri didn't have anything to do with like the way it was all done. We got Outkast from Atlanta. We got T.I. We have Ludacris. We have all these huge artists that are born and bred here. 2 Chainz. And so in our minds, we were like, okay, this should be an opportunity for local talent that was born and bred here to be able to showcase their talent on an international stage. Because everybody watched well, not everybody, but the Super Bowl is watched by many, many people, especially depending on who gets in it. So I feel some kind of way that we don't know what it's going to be like. Perhaps there's going to be kind of like when they did it in LA and, they had Mary and Snoop and 50. Maybe they're going to have like a amalgamation of people, but if they do not figure out how to put Lil Wayne in it, Baby said he coming for Jay-Z. And there's this whole rivalry that I didn't even know they had a little beef when back in the day, Jay-Z tried to sign Lil Wayne, and he was courteous to say, hey, listen, baby, I'm thinking about signing him to Rock Nation. I was like, nah. And then he got this like letter, cease and desist. Don't be trying to talk to my. It was notorious interference or something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens at the Super Bowl and how things start to shake out. I think people like a beef. We are the nation of people who want to see a train wreck. We just waiting on a train wreck. We're gonna watch it, rubbernecking as they call it. And so I hope I don't like the beefs because as we know in our age group that beefs turn deadly. We missing Tupac and Biggie over some foolish beef. At least that's what the media tells us.
They're officially promoting it in a sense with Kendrick Lamar's biggest song right now being the song that's dissing Drake. So that's putting the beef on a huge stage unless they're telling him not to perform that song, which I don't think that's going to be the case. So you got to ask yourself, why did they pick Kendrick Lamar? Why didn't they pick Lil Wayne?
Well,
with the thing that went on, what was it, Super Bowl a couple years ago with Dre and Snoop being in LA, I think people just expected like a trend to continue after the complaints from Jermaine Dupri in Atlanta. So with them picking or whoever picked or selected Kendrick Lamar, I'm sure it's could have been a multitude of reasons, dog. It could have been from him, the images or the imagery that he will portray and put on screen during the Super Bowl. But they got to watch out for what Kendrick might do too, because he's so pro-black. You never know what he might put out there that they might not be, so happy with. So I do think at the end of the day, Kendrick I wouldn't say should. I would say it would be a good gesture if he somehow brought out Lil Wayne. But then does Lil Wayne say? But then does Lil Wayne say, "Man, I'm too big to be a damn feature in my own city." Does he have a problem like that? Do they now create a beef with Jay-Z for this because they think he's the one that did all of these things, to retaliate for Lil Wayne not signing with him? Who knows? But I do think that Kendrick Lamar is going to find a way to put on a good show. They could have went a whole other different way with not even rap music, if that's the case. But they did, and this is going to be a situation where they're going to try to recreate what Kendrick did in LA and try to have, I guess, Not Like Us party in New Orleans. I just don't think it's going to go over the same way.
Nope.
That's just me.
I'm just worried I think what's that game? What's the little card game? We had a 3-card shell game. What is the little game where you move in the card
shuffle? Monty.
I feel like they're trying to just make us, we watching the wrong thing. We like worried about all the wrong stuff. And I know in the entertainment space, it becomes actual news. So I don't think Kendrick Lamar is a headliner for a Super Bowl. When you think about the artists they've had, he's huge. But the majority of us, like if you're talking about majority, I like his music, but them folks don't necessarily. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Well, they like it too, but I don't know if he has the kind of music, that's going to be able to, like you said, it's going to swing one way or the other, and that's going to be interesting to see how they do it. And they can't have just one artist. They didn't. Well, I guess they can, because didn't Rihanna? Nobody else came out with Rihanna last year, did they?
They can't have one artist. I think the artist decides who they want to bring out. But hey, at the end of the day, it's it's a promotions for them. They don't even have to. They don't get paid to do it. They just promote their music.
Right.
And that's the end of the day. But we're gonna go to the chat and let them decide what y'all think, and then we'll go and get back to it and respond back to it once this goes onto video. Miss Arlie will be in the conversation in the chat, and y'all make sure y'all follow her. Let her know where they can find you at, Miss Arlie.
I am on all streaming platforms. Welcome to Arliewood, or you can find me at just Arlie Michelle, ARLEMICHEL.
Thought you was about to say
You gotta spell it like Mickey Mouse. You gotta put like a little
MIC. See you real soon. HEL.
Don't you
dare go.
It's a damn shame that I don't know that song.
You didn't grow up watching Mickey Mouse Club?
Hell no, I watched no damn Mickey Mouse. Ocho, Mickey Mouse.
I used to watch it with my uncle.
Man, I was outside. I told my mom I ain't need cable. I was outside.
Chico.
I mean, we were outside too because we didn't have cable, but I know that little song.
Chico.
Yeah.
I used to watch it with my Uncle Byron.
Hey,
Are you gonna share that joke with everybody, or that's just y'all?
No, that's Tracy Morgan. Everybody gets the joke.
and that's for the
Well,
veterans who
I
who
don't get
watch the show. You got to go back
Well,
and
I
everybody.
watch the
mean,
other lives, Arlie.
Yeah,
I will go back and watch. Thank you, Chico, for being just.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
I'm just saying.
1,200 people watching.
He's in a whole different world now.
$11.99 got it, and you want us to explain it to you.
All right.
No, you're good. Thank you.
Miss Arlie.
Those glasses are rocking though.
I was just
Thank
about to say
you.
those glasses. She if she didn't get it, but she probably should have gotten them from right above my head from the Glass House Optical shop right there.
That will be my next stop. Is the Glass House
indeed.
Optical shop.
Well,
They
you
got
make sure you do that.
No. Well, 1%. I need them for reading.
So time out. That just proves she got Mississippi roots. You see, she didn't say what that means. When I asked her, do they got medicine in them? She went right to the answer.
Let me tell you though, you said that last week, and I put in the chat. I was like, we don't all say that, but I guess we do. I don't say that, but I am from Mississippi.
You heard it.
You
heard
it.
it.
I heard you say
that.
What
it meant.
You knew exactly what it meant. All right, Miss Arlie. Oh, I didn't mean to bring Petros on too early, but Arlie, thank you so much. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to Miss Arlie. And now we're gonna go real quick now to our goon of the game. This is our guy Petros from Goonsville's Clothing. He's gonna present us with our goon of the game. I'll let him explain it. Let us know what your goon of the game is.
All good. Just wanted to say what's up, Uncle Chico. Here Sunday night, best show of the week. So,
Petros.
Yes, sir, Unc.
In the words of Usher, watch this.
Goonsville. Yes, sir. I gotta put my hat forward. I always put it backwards. Goons.
We had some big plays in the game, man. Some guys who probably deserve a Goonsville hat. We probably should be gifting these guys with a hat or a T-shirt or something next time we see them. But we got some candidates, and a lot of guys made some plays. We'll let you go ahead and go give us your goon of the game.
So I put a lot of energy into this one because not only did I have so much fun watching the game and kind of just seeing everybody continuously grow, but then at the same time, what Unc was building off of when I was watching when I was watching the DNVR show, the DNVR pregame show, he talked about, and he even said it tonight, watching for the Baylor game and the UCF game, and I think those were really pivotal in not only shocking the nation, but also showing that, hey, we're ready to go into the Big 12 conference. So I'm actually going to shift it a little bit tonight from a goon of the night, and I'm going to make it a goons of the night. So my goons of the night, and as I said last week, and I think it honestly paid off really well with picking Travis Hunter, because not only it's just more and more front and center every week. It's the Heisman potential is already there, but everybody just loves watching him play. It's so fun. He puts people on skates constantly. But I'm not picking that specifically as my goon of the night. So without further ado, my goons of the night is the entire CU football team. Woo!
That's a lot of hats you're gonna have to get, Petros. Damn, now you set yourself up for that one. You got to get a whole.
I had to, Chico. I mean, I could not pick one specific player. Everybody was popping off, whether it was on offense or defense. I mean, it was just so cool to just. I will say this, and I was really debating it. And you know what? I will give it to an offense and a defense perspective. Everybody put something towards winning the game, whether it was, hitting hard, making plays, stopping the run on the down. When it comes to offense, making those pivotal catches. Will Shepard, he caught that pass. And I think that was really cool in the sense. And I was honestly debating picking him as Goon of the Night and Goon of the Game because he had that very close catch last week. And he knew this week I feel that got the team really rolling and going, hey, we're going to control this game tonight. And
Most
so
definitely.
I think that was great on offense. And, that was a standout play, breakout play, and I think for the entire team. And then, on defense, he already has some Goonsville, actually, which is sweet. Nakai Hill Green, he just lays the wood just boom, hits people.
Oh,
Hey, yo.
In football. Oh.
Hey, so at the end, hey man, we appreciate that, Petros. Hey,
Yes,
he
sir.
just gave it to the whole squad, man. And I
The whole
think they're
squad.
deserving of it, to be the goons of the game because everybody
Absolutely.
showed up, offense and defense. Shouts out to my man once again, Alejandro Mata,
Yes,
coming up
sir.
clutch for doing this thing, man. Goons of the game. Once again, the whole team from my man Petros of Goonsville Clothing.
Right on, Uncle Chico. Cool.
Right on. Did Petros just give us the?
He gave us a snow, bro.
That's right. That's right.
He said right on.
Right on. Appreciate it, Petros.
Oh,
Do we have?
Hoppy from Sanford and Son would have said left off. It's right on, Hoppy.
Yeah, I now see. I remember the character, but I don't remember every line from Sanford and Son. But hey, much love because that was
Pit
a classic
Marine.
that stayed on the TV.
Pit Marine with a $5 super. Giving some love to Mr. Overly himself, 25 Western, for causing that fumble. Overly blessed, Overly playing great. That's right, man. Overly came through.
Hey, and also some updates and some news before we get up out of here. Red shirts.
Yeah.
Coach Prime updated and said that Trevor Woods has asked a red shirt, and also his good friend and teammate and linebacker partner, Jeremiah Brown, red shirting. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's that in this era of college football, that's just an indication that you are intending to transfer, that you want to seek some opportunities elsewhere. This team, particularly on defense, you saw Trevor Woods move from safety to linebacker. You've seen Jeremiah Brown, who came from Jackson State to Colorado with Coach Prime, not really get some of the opportunities he may have been open for. And so when you see guys opt the red shirt, whether it's their quarterback UNLV or two guys on this team announcing it, that you just can plan on that they're transferring. So absolutely wish them the best, in that decision-making process, man.
I'll say this, and I know transferring wasn't huge back when I played, but it was an option. But when I redshirted, when I was given the option to redshirt, actually I didn't ask, I was given the option to, because he wanted me to bulk up and gain weight. Sure. I was thinking that this would be an opportunity for Trevor Woods to bulk up and gain weight. Exactly what he was trying to do this offseason and get up. He got up to 217, he said, but we would often want to see a linebacker at least 220, 225. So I was thinking this is an opportunity to bulk up. Same thing with Jeremiah Brown, to bulk up and stay there and come back next year as fifth-year seniors and really cause some havoc.
That absolutely could be the case. So, but that's that. You see a little piece of gray hair you got right there?
Yeah, that's just a little bit of gray.
Yeah, that's that talking. That's your experience talking.
Oh, okay.
So let me say what I said again. In this era of college football, when you see a guy hit the portal, not the portal, forgive me, announce he wants the red shirt the rest of the year, is typically an indicator that they're planning on transferring. Now, what you just said is still true. There's a lot between now and then. You're still in school. You're still at the facility. You're just not playing, and the season is not being held against you or counting against your eligibility. So who knows? I just know that in this modern day era of college football, when you see a guy say, I want a red shirt, that's probably a guy that's going to look to transfer.
And just, to clarify for anybody who's listening or didn't catch that, it doesn't mean that they're gone immediately or they're leaving. No. They're still what, Uncle Neely?
They're here. They're on the team. They're in school. Absolutely.
Exactly. They're right there around the squad. When I redshirted, I was still practicing with the team. I went down to the scout team, but I was there. I was a part of the team, just like everybody else.
Probably the only thing that happened when you did it, you just didn't travel to road games.
Yep. And as a matter of fact, the year that I redshirted, here's a fun fact. The year that I redshirted, the reason why I'm out here in Hawaii is because of the year that I redshirted was the year we made it to the bowl game, and the bowl that we came to was here in Hawaii. And when I came here for those 6 days, I said, "Oh no, hell no, Ocho! This is where I'm living at, Ocho. This is where I'm coming to live."
I have one question: you went out there for 6 days. Did you ever think about bringing your Uncle Byron down?
Uncle Byron would like this out here. All right, man. But anybody in the chat, you guys coming to Hawaii, y'all let me know. Maybe we can meet up and y'all can sneak me a plate of soul food out here.
And next week, y'all. Next week.
Yes.
I know we're running over tonight, but it's our
running
show.
over.
Next week, we're gonna really do the top 5 R&B bands.
I was just gonna ask you about that, man.
We're gonna get to it. If Chico start tonight, we're gonna hit another hour, and we've already been on here hour 10. Next week, we promise we want to hear y'all's top 5 R&B bands.
There you go, top 5 R&B. Because
don't be naming those solo artists. These are groups.
All right. Any other ideas you guys have, put it in the chat right now. Y'all know what it is, man. This is Unc and Chico coming to you live and direct each and every Sunday night right here on the Pregame Show Network and the Big Dog Chico channel on YouTube and Facebook. We 31,000 strong on Facebook. Right now, y'all can follow us, Big Dog Chico Sports Talk on Facebook right now. And let's get it going, man. Y'all know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe, comment, all the other good stuff. Unc and Chico, we're going to be up and about this thing. Pizza in the Middle East. Yeah.